In a stark warning to the world, the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists has moved the Doomsday Clock closer to midnight than ever before. On January 27, 2026, the organization announced that the clock now stands at 85 seconds to midnight, the closest it has ever been to the symbolic hour of global catastrophe. The Doomsday Clock is a symbolic gauge created in 1947 by the Bulletin's founders, including scientists involved in the Manhattan Project, to represent how close humanity is to existential catastrophe. Midnight on the clock symbolizes a theoretical moment of annihilation driven by human-made risks. Over almost 8 decades, the clock's hands have moved forward or backward based on scientists' assessment of threat levels, particularly from nuclear weapons, climate change, and other emerging dangers. The Science and Security Board of the Bulletin, a panel composed of scientific experts and Nobel laureates, moves the clock each January after reviewing global trends. For 2026, the board cited a combination of escalating existential risks that influenced its decision. Nuclear threats, the impending expiration of the New START Treaty, the last major arms control pact between the United States and Russia, raises the specter of a renewed nuclear arms race and reduced strategic stability. Geopolitical tensions, rising nationalism, aggressive posturing by nuclear powers, and ongoing conflicts contribute to a fractured world climate that undermines cooperation on global risks. Climate crisis. Scientists have emphasized that greenhouse gas emissions and warming trends remain dangerously high, with climate impacts continuing to worsen globally. Disruptive technologies. Rapid development and deployment of artificial intelligence, especially unregulated systems contributing to misinformation, disinformation, and destabilizing social trends, were flagged as a growing threat. Biosecurity concerns. Advances in biotechnology and potential misuse of life sciences innovations also factored into the board's risk assessment. According to the Bulletin, these converging risks reflect a failure of leadership and declining international cooperation to address existential threats. The board's statement emphasized that the world has not made sufficient progress in tackling these dangers, prompting the clock to be moved 4 seconds closer to catastrophe compared with its position in 2025. Since its debut, the Doomsday Clock setting has been adjusted 26 times. When first introduced in 1947, it was set at 7 minutes to midnight. Over the decades, it has moved forward and backward in response to geopolitical shifts, arms control treaties, technological breakthroughs, and global crises. The clock was farthest from midnight in 1991 at 17 minutes in the wake of the Cold War's end and major nuclear arms reductions. In recent years, the trend has shifted alarmingly closer to midnight, with key historical settings including 2020, 100 seconds to midnight, 2023, 90 seconds, 2025, 89 seconds, 2026, 85 seconds, current. Although the Doomsday Clock is a symbolic measure, its annual update serves as a reminder of growing global threats and the urgency of collective action. Bulletin leaders stressed that the clock is not a fixed prediction of inevitable disaster, but rather a call to action. They argued that decisive policy changes in areas such as nuclear arms control, climate mitigation, regulation of emerging technologies, and international trust building could reverse the trend. As Alexandra Bell, president and CEO of the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists, stated, "Every second counts, and we are running out of time." The clock's new setting underscores that global risks remain acute but not beyond humanity's capacity to address them if leaders act with urgency and cooperation.